On taking your power back from anxiety and insecurity, here's Agent of Change Honoree, Cazzie David, in conversation with her editor, Kate Napolitano.
Hey, Cazzie.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going, the debate was last night. I'm existing in the world, and so it can only be so good,
I feel like you're publishing your book, which has several essays about living with anxiety at a time where this is the mode we're all living in. So how did you confront your anxiety in a way that felt productive to write a book about it?
I guess, when you're at your most anxious, you are obviously not very productive. But every time you're anxious, at the core of what you're feeling anxiety about, what you're really feeling anxiety about, could be essentially a prompt for something that might be interesting to write about. So if I have obsessive thoughts about this one thing, it kind of means that I'm, spiraling out of control and thinking of 100 different things about this one thing. And when you do that and you kind of step away from it, you kind of realize that you've just come up with essentially material for what this one thing is that you're having anxiety about, which could be a premise. So a lot of the essays in the book are essentially just from panic attacks I had about certain things going on in my life.
How do you use humor as a means to kind of prop open your writing and open up those experiences?
If you use humor to lighten whatever it is you're thinking about that's making you upset, you can start to see oh, this is an absurd aspect of being alive. There's so much stuff in the book that I wrote about that was super embarrassing for me at the time. And then just writing about it and then knowing that someone could laugh at my rejection or connect with it makes you just less embarrassed about it in the first place. By writing about your embarrassment, you're kind of taking your power back from that moment. And it's because once you write about them, they feel much less embarrassing.
As you know, I've been a mentor in this program for the past 3 years. And what I love about it is that all of the mentees are so vulnerable with their experiences and so willing to open themselves up and push themselves with their writing. When you think back to your high school self, what advice would you give her?
I was saying the other day that I actually feel no different than I did when I was 14. I'm still highly insecure and anxious and self-conscious. But I guess, and anyone who is part of this program obviously wants to write, the ability to have that outlet. Some people who don't want to be writers and have no interest in it, they have to live with all these bad moments and they don't get to have a payoff from it. And so we're very lucky to be able to make some of these moments kind of worth it by writing about them and making them funny or relatable. So I think your insecurity and anxiety will pay off because you're going to do something with it. So thank you so much. I'm really excited to be a part of this in any way I can.